Well, thanks, Woods, and I appreciate that. I think you've got Dr. Mike. Now, guys, what we're going to switch gears now is we've kind of just told you why we started with this company, and we didn't really talk product. Guys, I guess we talked about icing on the cake. There's no way to see. We're not, when it comes to our product line as well, and I mentioned a couple of companies that are drink companies. I kind of picked on them a little bit. It's because our product has all those things and more, but it's not just this one drink. And we're so pleased that Dr. Mike is willing to help us each week. And someone with his credentials, my goodness, taught at Yale University, and I can't pronounce his last name, but we'll talk about people with high IQs. That's not me. But we got Dr. Mike, I want to thank you personally for just being so willing to help us and being on this wellness council. But your expertise and knowledge of this of health and being an actual physician makes such a difference to have you on our team. And I want to thank you with all these people listening in. So, Woodson, I'm going to turn it over to you and Dr. Mike.
Okay, that sounds great. Now Dr. Mike, just so you know, yes, he's on the Wellness Council. Yes, he is a traditional physician, internal medicine. But guys, he's very, very unique. Eastern, he knows about Eastern medicine, but he also went to Yale Medical School. Not only went to Yale Medical School, he taught at Yale and was chief resident in New Haven, Connecticut at the hospital there. So there's a lot more to this than meets the eye, but the cutting edge science is what got Dr. Mike to join us with RX. And he also respected the business model because he understood the changes going on in the medical field. So without any further ado, Dr. Mike Dimayuga, but we affectionately refer to him as Dr. Mike, take it away and tell us about this amazing MOA, because I know that I will never not have it in my pantry and my fridge.
You guys are too kind. I'm sitting here blushing listening to all this stuff. Thank you so much. And if I sound a little hoarse, I will apologize ahead of time. I have basically been talking nonstop all day. All I can say is business is really, really good. As a physician, when your passion to help people translates to actually being able to help them with their weight, with their wellness, with their illnesses, people simply resonate to that and they respond, and what happens is the word goes out into the community, and the next thing you know, my wellness and weight management business is bigger than my conventional medical practice, so life is good. We're going to talk about MOA tonight, and one of the most interesting things I find about MOA, the one that really got my attention going at the beginning, was the choice of name. MOA actually stands for Mother of All, and it is so much more than a supplement. And I chose to build the entire presentation around the slides and the PDFs that the company has put together, but expanding and simplifying as needed to help everyone understand exactly why this is a revolutionary product and so useful and so helpful. Woodson, if we could go to the next slide, please. Just so that everyone agrees on the same stuff, we're going to cover some basic information first. So MOA has 34 superfoods to nourish your body. So the first thing we need to talk about is what exactly are superfoods. So go ahead to the next slide. Superfoods are foods, fruits, vegetables that contain a large amount of vitamins, nutrients, and antioxidants, or have other special nutritional properties. One of the biggest things that truly amazed me was the decision by the company, rather than hang their hat on one fruit, one vegetable, one product, and try to make claims that will hold up forever and ever, the company said, you know what? We're going to put everything known to be useful and beneficial into the product line. We're not going to choose only one or the other. We will put everything in there. And so that's what they did, 34 of them. So, and on to the next one. And just for the record, those 34 are blueberries, acai berry, bioperine, elderberry, mango, curcuma root or curcumin, acerola berry, apple, cranberry, noni fruit, bergamot, pear, mangosteen, orange, blackcurrant, white tea, strawberry, goji berry, black seed, agave, sour cherry, grapestone, blackberry, plum, kelp seaweed, peach, aloe vera, dried plum, green tea, pomegranate, cordyceps mushroom, shiitake mushroom, maitake mushroom, as well as reishi mushroom. So it's a lot. And for the average person first looking at this, there's a tendency to get overwhelmed by all of it. So let's go ahead and organize this. If you could click the next one. I decided, you know what, let's put it into a framework that we can easily understand. All that stuff I mentioned, they're basically either fruits or berries, mushrooms, or actually bits and pieces of the rest of the roots, leaves, and seeds. Now, put it into this context, it's easy enough to understand. We eat one or more of these on a daily basis. So let's take fruits first. As with all fruit, what makes some fruits healthier than others is the presence of the phytonutrients. And phytonutrients simply means nutrition from a plant source. The darker the color of the fruit, the more carotenoids they have, and the better it is for you. When you hear the term, you really should eat the rainbow, this is where the term came from, all the different colored fruits and vegetables. So what makes a healthy fruit healthy? Again, the short answer is the phytonutrients. Scientific studies indicate that eating 2 or more servings per day will yield health benefits. But, and here's the kicker, and these, the references I took for these are from Brown University, University of Minnesota, WebMD. These are mainstream medical sources. Because there are so many yet to be identified phytonutrients in fruits, and since many of the mechanisms by which they improve health are poorly understood, eating a large variety of fruits, including citrus fruits and dark-colored fruits such as berries, is best, which fits the philosophy of what our company said. Rather than choose one and try to keep that one thing going, we're just going to put all of them. We know that they have benefits. We don't know all the benefits yet, but we're not going to take any chances. We're going to put all of them in there. So I love the fact that those are all in there. And moving on to the next slide. All right, so that's the original list I showed you earlier. So here's the fruits from that. Moving on. So then we come to the second component, berries. What's so special about the berries anyway? Well, berry colors are due to natural plant pigments, many of which are polyphenols. They're simply large molecules, such as flavonoids, anthocyanins, and tannins localized mainly in the skins and in the seeds. A very interesting thing about berries is that the pigments are usually antioxidants in vitro, meaning in a laboratory setting, and thus have what is called the oxygen radical absorbance capacity, ORAC or ORAC, that is highest among the plant foods. There are other companies out there that make a big deal out of their ORAC scores. Guess what? Their product is highly processed, heated, pasteurized, put into capsules. In other words, their products are very much processed to the point that you cannot guarantee that the ORAC score of the original food is still found in the product. So these berries are the blueberry, the acai berry, elderberry, acerola berry, cranberry, and all that other stuff. And understand, we don't make a big deal of the ORAC scores, but if you actually look up ORAC scores, you will see that these berries have some of the highest scores ever recorded. And now for the mushrooms. And this, for me, was a trip in learning and personal development when I started researching and learning about all the different mushrooms that Deanna Latson chose to include in the product line. So we have maitake, shiitake. The maitake mushroom has for thousands of years been used in Asian healing methods. Until recently, like so many other parts of the world, herbal remedies have been more or less in folklore. What's happening is the awareness that these bodies of knowledge, these methods of healing are disappearing because as urbanization takes place and herbalists kind of sort of disappear, that knowledge is lost to mankind. And here's the interesting thing. Mankind would not be around were it not for all those herbalists for the hundreds and thousands of years before organized pharmaceutical products came along. However, in Japan especially, researchers have been studying the medicinal effects of mushrooms on the immune system, cancer, blood pressure, and cholesterol levels. And you will notice that there will be a recurring theme on those specific items. So, coming up to the next slide, please. What's the evidence? Maitake mushrooms and the diffraction prepared from them contain what's called beta-glucan. It is found in several mushrooms, yeasts, and other foods. It is believed to stimulate the immune system and activate certain cells and proteins that attack cancer. Our immune system is not a one kind of cell, one kind of protein, or one type of organ. It is a multitude of different things for good reason. At any given point in time, what is infecting us, affecting us, infesting us, or killing us can change. So rather than have only one line of defense, the body has multiple lines. But the whole point is you want to be able to stimulate and support all those different things. So we have cells such as macrophages, T cells, we have natural killer cells or NK cells, and proteins like interleukin-1 and interleukin-2. In laboratory studies, it also appears to slow the growth of cancer in some cell cultures and in mice. Shiitake mushrooms. Animal studies have shown positive results regarding the anti-tumor, cholesterol-lowering, and virus-inhibiting effects of several active compounds in shiitake mushrooms. There have been studies showing that it prolongs life of patients with advanced and recurrent stomach and colorectal cancer. So the common theme with all of the mushroom is it is very, very good for the immune system. Moving on to the next one. The reishi mushroom has been used for boosting the immune system. It helps fight viral infections such as the flu, swine flu, and avian flu. It helps control conditions like asthma and bronchitis. It helps control high blood pressure and high cholesterol, which can lead to heart disease. It helps regulate and improve kidney function. It's also used for treating HIV and AIDS, chronic, as well as insomnia. Other cultures use this particular mushroom specifically to help reduce stress and prevent fatigue. And the last mushroom of the group, cordyceps, again, it's used to treat coughs, chronic bronchitis, respiratory disorders, kidney disorders, nighttime urination, male sexual problems, anemia, irregular heartbeat. It is also used for strengthening the immune system. So, moving from here onto the whole theme of this product is the concept of botanical medicine. Plants or substances that come from plants are used to treat or prevent disease. Now, understand, plants have been used in this way in all cultures long before recorded history. The University of Minnesota, however, the Center for Spirituality, actually studied the whole idea, the whole concept of botanical medicine. And they have been able to show that botanical medicine existed from as far back as 60,000 BC. And this is where I come when I say, I don't believe that the human race would be around were it not for botanical medicine. It is not reasonable to expect that early humans did not have infections or did not have inflammation or did not have fevers or infestations or all manner of different things. And back in the day, some people would die, some people would not die, some people would get better, some people would not get better. And ultimately, people sat down and said, well, what did we use on this guy that kept them alive? And that's how botanical medicine came along. They weren't sure exactly what component of the plant worked. They just knew that if you used it, it had a beneficial effect. Unfortunately, starting about the 1800s in the United States, the use of whole plant remedies was increasingly discredited. So much so that by the 1900s, mainstream medicine distanced itself from herbalists. In fact, The American Medical Association back in the 1900s attempted to make the practice of herbal medicine illegal. Now, fast forward from that time frame to today, courses in traditional and science-based herbal medicine are being revived in schools of both pharmacy and medicine. So guess what? We're back to where we started, except now we're a little bit more science-based. We're now a little bit more organized about what it means. And so now we're able to do a whole lot more stuff. So we're not talking about bioperine and the curcuma root, white tea, black seed, grapestone, kelp seaweed, green tea. We're basically going back to what ancient cultures had known all along. Use of a variety of different botanical substances, plants, fruits and vegetables, help sustain our health and give us a long, healthier life than without them. So, moving on to the next slide. Just so people understand, mainstream medicine today has a host of medicine that was originally derived from botanical and herbal preparations. My favorite happens to be aspirin. When European settlers first hit the United States and they came down with fevers and swelling and this, that, and the other thing, the American Indians prepared infusions from willow trees. The bark and the leaves were made into infusions and given to the early settlers. And of course they said, it's some weird stuff, it doesn't work, this, that, and the other thing, except in every single case it reduced fever. Well, that was the original source of aspirin. Morphine, of course, comes from coca. Quinine is now used to treat, in this form, to treat malaria. In another form, quinidine, it is used to treat cardiac or heart arrhythmias. Nicotine, of course, most famously comes from tobacco. Caffeine from coffee and tea. Penicillin is a mold. Erythromycin is a soil mold that is reddish in color. Taxol and etoposide are from trees. Oral contraceptives originally started from vegetable matter. And digoxin, for those of you who plant gardens on a regular basis, digoxin, which is a very, very good and well-respected mainstay in the treatment of congestive heart failure, comes from purple foxglove. So these things are now considered mainstream medicine. They were, in fact, not too long ago, infusions and herbal teas. So next time somebody looks at you and says, I don't know about this stuff, hey, this stuff has a longer history than pharmaceutical medicine. But one of the things that most excited me about this product was, okay, so we have superfoods and we have fruits and mushrooms from all across the globe, which is good. We don't have that many of these things in North America, but that's okay. This company, this product takes care of that. But it was the curcumin root that truly, truly excited me, because there are studies increasingly showing that it is used for arthritis, heartburn, stomach pain, diarrhea, but it is most promising for treating and preventing cancers. There are cultures that are now using this in just about can. There are now teas that you can buy at health food stores that are just turmeric tea. And for this to be in what other people would call a juice product, you know, I look at them and go, you're missing the bigger picture here. Number one, it's not a juice. It's almost the fresh fruit and the fresh vegetables made so that it can pour out of a bottle. But the fact that it has curcumin in it, we are so far ahead of the curve in this that I said this before, this will revolutionize this particular segment of the industry. And moving on to the next slide. So here we have a product that puts together the best antioxidant superfoods available. We won't claim to know everything that these superfoods are capable of doing. Even mainstream scientists say we don't know all the stuff that fruits and vegetables are capable of doing. Less than 10% of the world's known fruits and vegetables have been assayed for pharmacologic activity. Less than 10%. So rather than try to figure out which one works the best, we put all of it together. The best combination of antioxidant superfoods available. Now, the thing about helping your body improve, and especially with the immune system, Woodson, if you could please move to the next slide. It's not just the availability of all these different products that's important. It's making sure that your body absorbs as much of it as your body needs. And this is where this additional component called bioperine comes in. It is an extract of the black pepper. Now, we could have taken a little bit of a shortcut and just found black pepper into the product and said, yeah, that's it. It's the same stuff. It's kind of sort of like it's black pepper. The difference is bioperine is a patented method of extracting an active substance from black pepper, and it has been shown to improve the absorption of nutrients through the gastrointestinal tract. Our company believes firmly in the quality of what we do. If that product was shown and clinically proven to do that, then we're going to use that product. Not something similar, not kind of sorta, not almost the same. We're going to use that one. It had to be bioperine. It's not the cheapest way of doing things, but it's guaranteed to be the one that works. And moving on to the next slide. This is where all that information about the mushrooms in MOA comes into play. Understand the thing about the immune system. You do not want your immune system to be too weak, because then you're coming down with infections, infestations, and you do not want your immune system to be too strong, because then you have autoimmune diseases like lupus or Sjogren's or Hashimoto's. You want your immune system to be balanced. The only way to do that is to make sure that the immune system, all the different components, the liver making the different kinds of proteins, the cells, the different types of cells, the different organs involved, each one of those players gets what they need in abundance so that they are neither overshooting the target or falling short of the target. You want everything to be functioning absolutely correctly. Now, another way of looking at this is, if you like juicing, if you believe the health benefits of juicing, and they are certainly compelling, but you don't like the mess that you have to put up with and cleaning up, well, guess what? You've got the benefits of juicing without the effort. It's all in there. It's a fruit pulp. It is not a juice. It's pulp. There's so much of it in the bottle that it literally glops out of the bottle when you pour it, and that's by design. If one of our ingredients has a clinical study to show a benefit behind it, and the clinical study says it had to be present in this amount, well, that's exactly the amount that you're going to get per serving. We don't take any shortcuts. We don't dilute it down. We don't say, oh, a little bit will go a long way, and that's good. We'll make the profit from that. No, it's not the way this company's put together. It's not the way this company puts products together. And so moving on, MOA is so much more than just a supplement. It is truly an antioxidant cocktail that improves your body's immune system. Now, I have been asked by people, so will I see or feel benefits within the month? My answer typically is, well, you might, but probably not. Will I see or feel benefits within 2 to 3 months? You might, but probably not. What about 6 months? Yeah, most likely. What about a year? Definitely. The point I'm driving at is this. Your immune system needs to be in pitch perfect condition all the time for you to remain healthy and live a long, vital life. You don't overcome years of abuse or years of neglect by taking this product for a month or 2 months or 3 months. You are likely going to start on this product, and the more time you stay on this product, the better the results will be, the more you will feel the benefits, and you will get to the point where you will say, you know what, I'm just not going to stop this product. So that's what I have for MOA, and I certainly hope that people got value from my presentation.
Saying that explains why I feel so good. I appreciate this so much. That was the greatest training explanation I've seen. Chris, I know you.
Dr. Mike, if you tell me it's going to get better after 6 months, I'll be able to stand myself, because I've been drinking this stuff for a couple of months, and I feel so different. And I know I've taken supplements. I know they helped. But this MOA, I've talked to so many people. I've seen so many results, and I don't want to step out of bounds on what I can say. But I just know for me personally, if you're telling me that I'm going to get the most benefits after drinking it for 6 months, I can't wait, because I'm so excited about how I feel right now. I can't even compromise how much better. If I'm going to feel much better than I am now, I'm not sure y'all can stand me. So anyway.
Oh, yes.
Listen, this has been a great conference. Dr. Mike, again, I mean, it's such an honor to have you on our calls. You bring such a different perspective, and Woodson and I, neither one really understand all this stuff about the products. We just know how they make us feel, and I know how that my body is different, and I just know about all the things that's happened to me in the past. I just can't, we can sit here and tell stories over and over about what we're seeing with people's lives. But, the bottom line is that I really joined the business to make money. This is such a blessing to have such great products on top of the comp plan and on top of all the leadership that we have. Woodson, you close us out. We have really ran way over. I'm amazed. I don't think we've lost a single person out here. Everybody's still with us. So why don't you close us out?
Okay, everybody, it's just exciting. We have so many people wanting to know about so many different things. Yes, this was recorded. We are going to get this posted and put out there. We'll let you know how that does. We are going to take all of Dr. Mike's trainings and get those separated out, because we have so many people that want to know and specifically get the information out on the products, and then others specifically about the business. And I just want to thank Dr. Mike so much, and Chris, and I just want to thank everybody for listening to it. So we are going to send y'all off to a wonderful evening, and thanks again for everything, and we'll be talking to you soon. Bye.
Good night, all.